morning. Thank you so much for joining me on today's edition of Business Morning. I'm Harriet Agbinyi, live to you on Channels Television, your home for the news. So today on the program, we'll be talking and taking a look at some of the top stories from the world of business and, of course, what's going on from the world of the news, mixing business and politics, education, everything that we talk about here on Channels Television. We'll also review how midweek trading fared at the various segments of the market with track, taking a look at the numbers from the FMDQ OTC Securities Exchange with regards to FGN bonds, Nigeria Treasury bills. Then going to the Nigerian Stock Exchange, we'll take a look at how closing figures were from yesterday's trade, as well as from the NSDQ OTC's market. And much later on the program, commodities markets today. We'll be focusing on domestic agri-commodities. I've got Amaka Ajebu, who is an economic research analyst with Financial Derivatives Company, joining me on the program. We'll also talk about the petrol price dilemma that's in the news. Channels Business News Editor Bosno Mofai will be talking to that. And also the plans by the federal government to borrow. That was adopted and approved yesterday, 2017 that is. Borrowing plan was approved yesterday by the Senate, so we'll talk a little bit more about that on the program. So let's just get to it and start with what actually is in the news. Nigeria's delayed National Economic Recovery Growth Plan of the Buhari administration may now be formally launched in February, and that's according to the Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibajo. In the fourth quarter of last year, the Udoma's Ministry of Budget and National Planning organized a grand 3-day retreat of ministries, departments and agencies, as well as the private sector, economists, financial consultants and other experts, including state government officials, to fashion out a critical guidance document for an economy that went into a tailspin in the year just ended. Now, Professor Oshibajo told a business interaction group attended by several international and local investors at the ongoing World Economic Forum meeting in Davos, Switzerland, that the plan has been specifically designed to take the country out of recession and, in the long term, continue to grow the economy. Now, the Senate has passed the 2017-2019 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework and Fiscal Strategy paper, retaining the exchange rate of 305 naira to a dollar as proposed by the executive, but raised the proposed oil benchmark of $42.50 to $44.50 per barrel. This now allows the legislature to begin proper consideration and eventual passage of the 2017 budget. Now, the 2017 borrowing plan was adopted and passed by the chairman of the Senate's Committee on Finance, John Eno, insists the plans and the loans should be used to develop critical sectors.
Total outstanding external debt stock is at $11.26 billion. Thus, Nigeria's external debt has been rising at an average of 9.2% per annum. In the case of domestic debt, the total domestic debt stock of the federal government is $37.44 billion. In 2017, FGN is projecting an additional borrowing of 2.321 trillion, comprising of 1.25 trillion naira domestic and 1.067 trillion naira foreign. Recommendation: the Joint Committee recommends the adoption of 2017 borrowings, but insists that they should be on project-tied basis. In borrowing more, government must remain focused and ensure it is used to fund critical projects that will increase productivity and also contribute to financing such debt.
Also at this time, the Environment Minister Amina Mohammed speaks as a special guest today in Lagos at a dinner with organized private sector on climate change and green bonds. Channels TV has got that on tap for you, and of course we'll be speaking to the minister and getting her thoughts on some of those issues, as well as other organized private sectors who will be part of that particular dinner. Well, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has denied rumors of any plans by the federal government to adjust pump price of petrol from the current 145 naira per litre. Now, that news has been making a round for quite some time and has got a lot of Nigerians quite agitated at this time. Some have also reported that some fueling stations have not been dispensing in their areas because of this particular rumor. Well, the corporation's chief operating officer of the refineries, Mr. Anibal Krager, says that he told the Senate Committee on Petroleum Downstream, when he was talking about the current status of the refineries, that the nation's 3 refineries that's located in Kaduna, Port Harcourt and Warri produced additional volumes of 4.6 million litres of kerosene and 7.7 million litres of diesel, in addition to millions, not specified, but millions of litres of petrol being refined daily at the nation's refineries. So that should cater to the needs of Nigerians. But at this time, the corporation has about 1.3 billion litres of petrol in stock, and they say it's sufficient to serve the nation for more than 38 days. So there's really no need to panic. But then we'll be talking more about this petrol price dilemma